We're so ready.
No. Oh, no, he's not.
Now where's your stocking?
Pyromania.
Yeah, no. It's like 3 different Def Leppard albums you're trying to combine there. Just play our song, Jeff. You're fired.
No, don't fire him. I don't have a cord.
Battery is low.
The battery is not low. Just my iPad is locked. Welcome to another edition of Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of La Champ or track dog you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate. We even think you Drifto Hella Flush peeps are, right? As long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for a tech discussion, tips, tricks, news and notes in the world of low-buck amateur racing. We might be putting each other on the spot, judge hella sweet or but terrible, and if you're lucky, Chrissy will give us just the tip. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental. And we are Everyone Racers, folks. Thank you so much for coming back and listening to another episode of our podcast where we can't drive 55. Welcome to episode 55. Let's go right into what you working on, Jeff.
Oh,
there it is. There you go.
I just want to say that nothing is cooler than Sammy Hagar's outfit.
I adamantly disagree.
Show.
I think any pair of pants Nicki Minaj has ever worn is cooler than Sammy Hagar's pants.
They're yellow and fuchsia. They're wonderful. So what am I working on other than we had a university weekend / homecoming. So I worked Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. And I want to tell you that you have never seen professional wrestling until you've seen like a really low dollar high school gymnasium professional wrestling.
I didn't know that existed.
Oh, that exists
it
in
totally,
every town in the nation.
It does.
I don't think Birdsboro has it, but go ahead. We wish we did. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So when we lived in Oklahoma, Vicky and I used to go to this.
This is entirely.
Of course, they had it in Oklahoma. Yeah.
And in the Poolga, they had a wrestling rink, and once a month they would have like the local wrestlers that were so good they were playing the Oklahoma City flea market. So that was
that's the kind of wrestling we had at Stockton's homecoming weekend / university weekend, and my boy Beefcake did not win. So yeah, we were. He's the only guy who had his name on his shorts. He's the only guy we knew.
In Sharpie or like
no. Actually... They were like sewn on letters.
It's like a little name tag that says, "Hello, my name is."
So like the pants you buy that say "juicy" on the butt. He had one that said "beefcake" on the butt.
Beefcake.
That would be kind of awesome.
Actually, it was beefcake across the crotch, and it was in Japanese across his butt.
Good.
Okay.
Beefcake.
So, in other news of people with weird names, a student of mine, his name is Trashcan Wallace. You can find him. His real name is Trash. He's probably not a listener. He would listen if I told him, and since I'm talking about him, he might. So his name is Trashcan Wallace. Find him on Facebook. He tells me the other day, he's like, my mom bought me this car and the brakes stopped working. Can you come check it out? And I'm like, sure. What do you got? He's like, a Trailblazer. And I'm like, okay. I show up. It's a 1996 Blazer S10, not a Trailblazer. I'm like, this thing is haunting me. I drive it for like 50 yards, and I'm like, the hydraulics don't work. Dude, when can you come to my house? So on Sunday, during the day, I was, you guessed it. Anybody want to guess what was wrong with it? Real hard pedal, no brakes, all the way at the bottom of the floor. Yes, rusted out brake lines. Thank you, Chevy. My hands are still itchy from all the brake fluid that was on them. But we did fix it, so one more hipster doofus who shall be alive. That's what it was.
Well, and not to mention the people that he would have run into. I just think that the fates know that you are the great hombre whisperer, and that's just closely related to the ombre.
I
Or
actually never.
Chevy brake lines, really.
Yeah, Chevy
in general.
brake lines more than anything. They just can't stay together. And then on Sunday, some fools lost their tire, and that's all I'm going to say.
I wonder who they are. Okay, I guess I'll go. I washed my freshly turned 220,000 miles.
What?
On my car today. I actually took a picture of it. Yes, I washed it on Friday. It turned the 220 today. So I know
Only
this
30
means
to go.
nothing. It means nothing to Jeff, but I've owned it since
220 is a lot.
and it's 11 years old, and I've driven it basically all of the miles. So it's fun. Good mile.
It means nothing to Jeff because yours is clean and well maintained.
Well, actually, you know what?
And pretty.
The 3 people who have put the most miles on that car are on this call. Actually,
I guess
it's
Jeff
you,
did
me,
do it.
and then probably Jeff is number 3, having driven it back and forth from his house when his other janky shit was broken here. So, yeah, I think Jeff has put the 3rd most number of miles on that car.
Probably like 100.
Yeah, that's all right.
100 times that you've broken things
No,
here?
No, 100 miles probably total.
You went back and
Not
forth a
great.
couple times with it. Anyway.
because then you thought you were going to fix yours, take it home, and you took it home again. Anyway, the car is white, but it looked gray brown, and it's just so satisfying. There's instant satisfaction when you wash this car. It looks awesome. We went to the beach last weekend. More projects at home this week, and I am doing race prep for a race that I'm not going to. So I am making all kinds of food and prepping all the boxes and making pit stuff happen, and that's what I'm doing. Chris, why don't you talk about what you're doing?
I am thanking you for making all the race prep. That's one of the things that I'm doing because that's great. I've been working on the MG. Mostly so far it's been carpet and interior. Basically, I'm fixing things I didn't do as well as I would do them now that I've done in the last 20 years on that car. So that's fun because I'm kind of better
You're
at this
fixing
stuff.
youthful errors?
Yeah. Or just things I said, well, you know what? I just don't really want to spend the time to really glue all this carpet down really well. So I'm just going to put it in pretty neatly. And, you know, when you don't use the car, it all stays in place. But now I'm like, well, I actually should secure some of this carpeting and, you know, properly put in these panels and things like that. So anyway, yeah, mental.
How many times did you catch yourself halfway through the what brain dead medical experiment did? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, no, I know who did it on all of it.
It's here to ask.
It was me for everything. So, yeah, working on
All
that.
the things you didn't do.
This week, the NSX did a very typical Honda thing, and it blew a clutch save cylinder, and because all 90s Hondas do that. And all right, fine. It's such a common thing that it's not that expensive, and there are even options on Rock Auto, which is actually where I ended up getting it because the Honda dealer was going to be a couple of days before shipping it out. For Rock Auto, I was going to send it the next day from a warehouse in Maryland, and I'll have it Friday. And that's
Is it a common used part? Like it is also from a 98 anything? No.
It's
No,
NSX
but it's not-
specific.
NSX specific.
And
But
there's
it's not
still
like stupid
right,
expensive.
There's
It's not
still
stupid
3
expensive.
choices on Rock Auto for an NSX specific part. So that tells you
Wow.
how much
Wow.
it goes wrong.
That is something. Hashtag Rock Auto should totally sponsor us.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that'd be great.
Hey, they sponsored Car Talk, and we're like,
At least
Just-
half of that.
yeah, exactly.
Seriously, yeah.
Sure.
You know we make fun of each other. We go into back
There's like-
alleys of topics and don't stay on the initial subject. Yeah,
Our
totally
advice
Car
is
Talk.
just as good quality. Mental's
Absolutely.
laugh is just as annoying as Tommy's. And we're set, right?
totes.
All right.
Hashtag we should be on NPR.
No.
So
Then
we
we'd
went
have to be
the-
more serious.
Hi. Welcome to
Welcome.
Everyone Racers.
Welcome. Well, it's
We
great.
laugh way too much.
It's great. Yeah.
I mean, we all listen to NPR, so it's not.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We're making fun of the thing we love. So
This-
yeah.
Right. What's the rest of your
this
story,
week
Chris?
on Everyone Racers. The rest of the story is we went to the beach this weekend because in October it was 75 degrees and the water was warm. I don't know. Thanks,
Sunday was perfect.
thanks Obama. And on the way home, we were tooling along, 4 people in the car, trunk full, coming up to the Ben Franklin Bridge, probably going to about 85, and suddenly there was some debris in the road that when the car in front of you, you can't see it, and nothing I could do to avoid it. Hit that, and then I hear. And in 3 seconds, the tire was out of air. So gradually, fairly quickly, worked my way all the way over like the 5 lanes of the road at this point. Found a spot conveniently right up the road.
Wonderful spot.
That was right like an exit ramp kind of thing. So we were nicely off of the highway to find a significant gash in the tread of the 285/3019 Michelin Pilot Sport that had even broken through the belts. It was a bad hit.
Ooh.
Yeah. So because it's limited slip, we had to, and it has a collapsible spare, as we talked about before, I had to move the front tire to the back, then put the collapsible spare on the front. And remember the last time we did this, I said that little compressor we have, I really should replace it. It didn't work very well because I think we blew it up.
Because you burned up like that one and all of your dad's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what I haven't bought yet.
Nope.
Actually, now I have bought it. It's coming tomorrow. So, fortunately, we were
Because
about
we're not
10
going to play
minutes-
that game a third time.
Right. So, it was either call AAA or call Triple Hefe. So, we called Triple Hefe.
So I called Jeff and say, "Where are you?" And he was like, "I'm at home." And I'm like, "Can you come to the base of the Benjamin Franklin Bridge and bring a compressor?"
I said, sure. But it's funny because it was like this. It was like, Hefe, where are you?
No.
And my brain went, shit, are we recording tonight? Is the podcast tonight? Am I missing something? Where am I supposed to be? I'm like, I don't know. I'm at home. She says, good. I was like, okay,
Come over
I'm
here.
in trouble.
Sorry about
So,
that.
yeah, Jeff saved the day with his air compressor, pumped that up, and kept driving home. 2 new tires are on the way from Tire Rack. That was a painful purchase.
Sponsor us.
Yeah. Damn, these tires are expensive in that car. So, yeah.
Enjoyed the ride though. It
It is. It's lovely when it works, but I don't enjoy spending $282 a tire. So, anyway.
So
Did you
what's
get the
deal
road hazard
here?
warranty
You said
this
it was
time?
Well, Tire Rack gives you 2, but these ones were on the car when I bought it, so I don't have the road hazard warranty. But
Is there something wrong with this car that you keep losing these tires, or are they?
We just keep hitting stuff in the road.
Oh, the first time is a crack in the wheel.
Well, that was a different time.
Oh, that was a different time.
Yeah. No, the time that it went.
The first one was the tire.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, a nail.
Yeah, we had hit a big nail through the tread the first time. This one, it was just debris that tore the belts apart. So it's just, I don't know, it's a really, really, really wide tire, so there's more chance for it to hit stuff, I guess. So,
Yes, and it's low aspect ratio,
yeah,
so anything
it's 30
it hits anything,
tire.
it's not going to deform. It's going to like puncture.
Yeah.
Another reason I only run 17s on my 3,
Right.
unlike Super 3 that Chrissy runs that has the big 18s.
Oh, but it looks so cool.
It does look.
And
It's
Cool.
I don't hit shit, so there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
All right.
Hey, Metzel, what are you doing?
You know what I'm not doing? Driving a Boxster.
still
So-
down, huh?
Oh, it's permanently down. So I took it to the first mechanic and they said, "Hey, we don't know what's wrong with it." I took it to a Porsche racing specialist. They said, "Yeah, you lost compression in cylinder 5, and anything we keep doing from here on out, it's going to be $120 an hour." And I'm going to tell you right now, just looking at it, you're looking at $3,000 to fix it. And I said,
$3,000
"Appreciate
on
it."
a $4,000 car, right?
Ding, and he's like, I'm like, so just tell me what I owe you. I'll be up there to get it. Now I drove it home from the shop on either 4 or 5 cylinders, probably like 4.5 cylinders, backed it up in the driveway.
Enough.
Exactly. It's enough.
It sounded like a
backed it up-
Subaru.
backed it into the driveway, took a bunch of pictures of it and put it on various auto places, the 24 Hours of Lemons forum, Grassroots Motorsports had some good interest. And I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and there's a local Porsche specialist who is coming to get it tomorrow. So he's already PayPal'd me a deposit. I'm going to pull the wheels, my racing seats, and my racing wheel off of it, and he's taking the rest. And he's probably going to fix it and have it driving in a week, but I just we're without having a lift because you got to drop the engine to pull the head. And honestly, I'm looking at it from a financial situation. I got what I wanted out of it. It was a great car. Went to NOLA twice, went to Road Atlanta Motorsports Park. I had a great time with the car. And just in time for Hurricane Michael to make landfall through Georgia, I'm still riding a motorcycle every day.
Oh, that's terrible.
Mhm.
It was a bit brutal coming home this afternoon, and it's going to be worse going back tomorrow. So
you need to buy yourself a Mazda 3. Just do it.
Yeah.
Even a Miata at this point would be really great.
Probably.
Like,
but,
hey, you find a cheap Miata
Even
around?
like a Hyundai Accent is better than driving the VFR in the
Like a
rain.
Corsica?
Nope.
A Corsica.
I've got a rain.
Beretta.
No. I've got a
Kia
rain.
Rio.
I've got a rain suit and a rain suit on a VFR in Hurricane. Way better than a Hyundai Sonata. Way better than a Kia Rio. Miata. Yeah, I could go either way on that one.
Like you can at least use your Miata.
And a Chevy Corsica, I will ride the scooter. I will ride the scooter through the eye of Hurricane Michael itself before I drive a Chevy Corsica.
Hey, Corsica will get you into Radwood, though.
That's true.
Ooh, dang. All right, you had to make that good point. So, but because also tomorrow morning at 4 a.m., I was supposed to depart with a group of 50 of my cadets down to the Space Coast in Florida. Guess what? The county council, our principal came to us on Tuesday and said, guess what you're not doing according to the school board? And that would be going on the field trip. Because Hurricane Michael, defiance of all logic, made it to a Category 4. And I'm actually, Vicky just walked in here and showed me footage of Mexico Beach where we used to live. And Mexico Beach is underwater from the storm surge. So, yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah,
so,
if I knew anyone in Florida, we would give them a quick hat tip and hope they're all right because they were caught a little flat-footed. DC Doug, as we know, lives on the left coast, so he's safe.
Right.
Most people in Florida are down in the wang of Florida, not in the panhandle.
Well, and we do have a group of folks that are driving down for the Grassroots Motorsports 2019 Challenge.
When's that?
This weekend?
This weekend is a challenge.
Yeah, exactly. Normally it's the same weekend as New Hampshire and Mid-O, but this one showed so Godspeed and safety to everyone that's making that drive. Once they get to Gainesville, they'll be fine, but a lot of them probably had to make their way through this hurricane.
Like our friend Seth Lemke of R63 fame is driving from Houston to Gainesville. Of course, you got to go right across it there.
No, I'm betting he ends up going a little bit north through Alabama and Mississippi on that trip.
Or something.
So, yeah, and even some of the folks here in Georgia that are on their way down. So again, Godspeed on that one. So that's what we're canceling that one. Today was PSAT testing. I've got an ASVAB coming next week, and Monday was our Columbus Day. No students, but you stupid teachers still have to go to work day. So.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
I did get. I got a lot of parts ordered for the Plymouth Champ, so I got new hard fuel lines and the parts to start bending that into place. And now that I'm home this weekend, guess what I'll be doing?
And now you probably wish you had done that before.
Drive the Champ.
What a good idea!
There you go.
Wait, don't you have another car in your driveway?
It's not in my driveway.
Something rather.
The Pontiac Chieftain?
Plymouth.
1952 Plymouth Cranbrook. It is on a trailer.
I was like, I know it's a fruit and a tree.
Fruit.
Cranbrook. I was like a cherry. Something.
You did say cherry. I heard you say cherry.
It's a town in England, but fruit and a tree, same thing.
Same thing.
It was something like that.
Oh my! Is it time for news and notes, everyone?
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
News and notes. Ready,
okay,
set, go.
Go. Radwood Philly. We're so excited. It's this weekend. We're so excited. Are you going? If we are going, a couple of us are going. If you are bringing something, we're going to post up our rides on social media posts. And if you see us, I'm going to bring a bunch of stickers. So we're going to rock some stickers on our cars. And hopefully if you see us around, stop by and say hi.
Cool. Are we saying what we are bringing? Or
jealous.
Totally
jealous.
We're bringing the NSX and you're bringing the Miata.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Only camouflage Miata you'll see, probably.
Yeah. That's the one you see.
We'll probably have the only red NSX that says VTEC, yo.
We have to apply a sticker, which we have not done yet. So,
yes.
assuming that the clutch parts will come here and we'll get them done. So anyway, so hopefully we'll see you there. We're excited about that. And if you haven't seen the Thompson wrap up video, you should.
I'm so embarrassed. No, I'm not.
No, you're not. Not at all.
I had not watched it, and Chris was like, "Have you seen the video?" Because he knows that I would have commented on it if I had seen it. So I finally watched it.
Mental looks confused.
I haven't had. I've been so out of the YouTube. So what joy am I missing?
No, you just have to watch it.
Just watch it.
You can't
There's a decent amount of Three Pedal Mafia,
There is.
mostly Jeff.
Yeah.
Is that a good way to put it?
And a funny cameo of Bruce right in the middle of the Jeff backward.
Hey, Jeff,
All right, let's
Jeff,
actually
turn
talk-
around.
Turn around.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, you just had someone. You had someone peeking in.
Okay, Jeff. Actually, you.
All right,
some actual news.
This week's Elon Musk story. So a story leaked to Bloomberg that Elon is offering to his employees discounts on new Tesla for both free upgraded interior and self-driving option if they act as, quote, testers for the autopilot team. It's not a surprise that this came out. It's a stupid leak. Alex Roy is calling BS on the drive. He's got a great story, opinion piece. He's saying it's just smoke and mirrors to cover the fact that the SEC and Tesla have again agreed to a worse deal than they struck 2 weeks ago. Elon is still out of chair, but now there's a $40 million fine. I don't know. Who cares? Who knows? Who cares? Right? I mean, basically, Elon promised, I think, 2 years ago that by the end of the year they would have fully independent cars. So he's late anyway.
I'm still team Elon. He made rockets land at the same time, put his car into space,
And sold flamethrowers.
and sold flamethrowers.
Can
Absolutely.
anyone else name an independently owned, self-personality driven car company that has lasted this long?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
and actually
Ford.
built good cars
Oh, sorry, that's out.
Forward.
within the last
A
A long
100
time
years?
ago, it did
Yeah,
okay.
no, yeah.
well,
I mean, how did DeLorean do?
exactly. Well, here's the first guy through the wall always gets bloodied, and
Absolutely.
that's how it works. And if this all falls apart in the next couple of years, and eventually, good, reliable, neat electric cars come online, they will all need to owe it to the Tesla company because he's the guy that made it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Chevy Bolt does not exist if Tesla is not selling cars.
That.
Period.
100%. And the man himself, Maximum Bob, even admitted as such.
There you go. You're right. Love Bob Lutz. Anyway, in other Alex Roy news, he posted in his Facebook 32 hours and 7 minutes page a shot of a blue M6 with lots of stickers and lots of antenna. This was about 24 hours ago. We were recording on Wednesday, and he said, "Guess who's going to be at Radwood Philly?" So he has not posted on social media since then. So it is possible that a cross-country record attempt is happening right now. Good luck to all involved.
Is it in a time period appropriate M6 for Radwood, or is it a new M6?
No, it is a modern.
That makes
Because if he
our-
was doing this in an E24 Shark M6, then
Sure.
props to him.
Sure.
Why?
I just have to say that Alex likes setting cross-country records that nobody has ever attempted before.
Sure.
Like fastest on 3 wheels, fastest
Oh, well, he also did.
in an
he did-
electric vehicle,
He did.
fastest.
He did Key West to Seattle. He's the only guy that's ever tried the Key West to Seattle run.
So wherever he started, he
Or the
probably
Kessel
will
run,
say,
apparently.
yeah, exactly. He will probably set the wherever he started from to Philadelphia record right now. Not that
That's
anyone ever.
That's an impressive bit of nerddom out of you there, Chris. Normally I have to look to Jeff for that kind of humor. Well done. I
Sorry,
appreciate
if we
Chris
want to
has
go
it. He just
obscure
doesn't wear it
records,
on
I
his-
mean, I probably have the my house to my work time record. Hell yeah.
I have my house to Point Park College in downtown Pittsburgh in 4 hours and 32 minutes in a 73 Scout record. Does that
Yeah.
count?
Yeah, except
Sure.
the record is 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else
right.
has a story? Save us from this.
All right, so World Racing League was at NOLA for their Southeast Championship this past weekend. Saturday it was Team GTR, number 2 was Art Racing, and number 3 was White Lightning. And in Sunday it was Noesis, Team GTR, and the unimaginatively named Casey Carden Motorsports, which again, Casey Carden's running that NA Miata, and at NOLA, that's impressive for him to put that thing on a podium because that's a whole lot of straightaway down there. So
That's
good
two
on those
podiums
guys.
in a row for them too, for Noesis and
It is, and
Casey Card.
and Casey, he was top 5 on Saturday as well. So that car's done. Now we also had the Harris Hill Double 8 a little while ago, the 29 September. So
That's
on
a
Saturday,
champ car, correct?
Sorry, I'm sorry. It is Champ Car down in the Texas Hill Country, Zebra Rising, TMA, and City Garage Racing. And then again, number 4th was Ghetto Chomp. We're really impressed with those guys. And then on Sunday, TMA, CV Racing, Winkler Motorsports, and again, Ghetto Chomp. What even more so is on this weekend, they had. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. You guys are telling me to do the microphone. She's just going straight up.
No.
Lightsaber on us.
Yeah.
Dope. So the Pittsburgh Grand Prix with the Champ Car Endurance Series was at, of course, Pittsburgh. And our guys in the R Bank Racing, 90racing.com, 1988 CRX took overall. They had a 93, ready for it, BMW.
Boring.
320i in second, and the Biohazard Racing 1991 Toyota MR2 V6 twin turbo all-wheel drive green all day baby managed to take third. So
is that a marijuana reference? Green all day baby?
I don't think so, but it could
or
be.
money.
Could be.
Yeah, it's
There's
money.
so
money.
money.
There's so
Money,
money.
honey.
You don't even know
Yeah.
it. Don't even know it. You're like this
I don't
bear
know.
with his claws, and you're like, what do I do with this money? All right. And
Okay.
also coming up this weekend, what do we got there,
Is
Chris?
Lemons at Gingerman and at the Ridge. It's the first time ever for Lemons to have simultaneous events. I'm sure they're sending, like Nick and Jeff Glenn to one, and Eric Rude and Pagel or something to the other. And interesting to see that.
I feel like they need to Skype McDaniel to both of them going, why are you in my pits?
I'm sure Steve will be at one of them. There's no doubt.
Probably Phil will be at one of them too. So
Yeah, who knows?
He's not as intimidating as Steve, though. Steve's scary.
Phil's a different kind of scary. That's fine. All right. So Gingerman, the debuts include Lemon's second, but probably better than ours, Rolls Royce. Apparently this one has a Viper V10 in it.
is it going to be done?
Who knows?
We don't know.
We don't know. Whatever. It can't. All-Stars ran kind of. If his run's great, it's still probably going to be better than ours because
it did stop.
Right. Well, he's taken all of the Rolls Royce bits out, which is what you have to do. He basically went to a shell. He went to a shell and started over. So, which is the only way to do it. We just weren't willing to do that. There's 2 Corvettes, and this is excellent, a Chrysler TC by Maserati.
By Maserati.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eric Root is telling us it also looks like the biggest race they've ever had at Gingerman. 111 cars based on the sign-up sheet he sent me, which for a track that isn't really all that great. Good for them.
It's a fun track to drive, but that paddock space is going to be tight.
Yeah. So Misfortune Cookie Racing is going to be there. They're likely to contend. I have to say they very nicely sent back our trailing arm that we loaned them at Thompson.
I was going to say, are we sure that's the same Misfortune?
Yeah,
It
same
is.
one.
Yeah, that's where they're from. They're from
that's where they're from, Michigan.
Central.
So they even sent me some Michigan and Detroit stickers and koozies and stuff in the box with the trailing arm. So they were really communicative and sent things back in a nice way, all very nicely packaged. So thanks, guys. Happy to help you out and glad you sent it back. That's great. It's, looking at the entry list. Yeah, Jeff?
I was just gonna say, wow, I didn't know they were from Michigan. That's a really long tow for some of the races they're doing.
Yeah,
they're coming out to Jersey. They're going out to Connecticut. I'm trying to think, where did we see them in New Hampshire last year?
No, I think we saw them in at one of the southern races we were at. Maybe we saw them at
I saw them in Atlanta, right?
Atlanta, yeah.
Or was it? I can't remember.
They gave us
But
that fortune cookie that they said
Yes,
Right.
that's what
Yeah,
that was.
the amount of your problems is directly proportional to the amount of parts you've touched.
Yeah.
which is
But
all of them.
Michigan to Atlanta, that's a
all.
hike.
Well, it's about the same as us, but
That's still bad.
anyway. So the thing that I
Good
like,
for them.
especially as Mental was reading the team names from Champ Car and World Racing League, I was comparing it to some of the team names that I saw on the Gingerman sign-up list, and these are some that just stuck out to me. I like the sketchy as F asterisk engineering, and then parentheses SAFE. They're safe.
They're
by being
safe. Nice.
sketchy as F, right?
Safety.
Yeah.
Safety first.
That's good.
Oh, so good.
I like Team Creme de la Creme. That, of course, is the Chrysler TC by Maserati, which, of course, is the Creme de la Creme. the team called a Florida team, ... because all good stories start with a Florida man, a Florida woman, right? Just go on Reddit and search that, and it's hilarious.
It's a Twitter. You can follow a Twitter handle called a Florida man. It's yeah.
I think my favorite is a couple that got in an argument, and he slapped her with a burrito, and then she stabbed him in the leg with a fork.
I've been there.
Wow.
It's either that or throwing alligators through a drive-through window. All that wonderful thing.
Well, the original Florida man was the guy who got high on bath salts and ripped his shirt off and
I'm sure
bit
he
the
was
other guy.
Yeah,
ate another guy's face. That's how a zombie starts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's when it became popular. He couldn't have been the first one.
Bath salts.
He wasn't the first guy to eat a face. He was just the popular one.
I wish this was on video that you could see because he just missed funny shows. Oh, go ahead, Chris. Two more.
Next is Sparkle Turd Racing in a Civic. That's nice. Sparkle Turd. And lastly, heads you win, tails we lose. Again. In a Lincoln Mark 8. So
that's awesome.
They're fun.
Yeah, I did notice that Save the Tatas were out there, and also the 1947 Plymouth with the Ford front end.
Yep,
so those guys
are great. And Lemonade is going to be there. It's probably going to be a battle between Tatas and Lemonade because that's what it usually is in the Midwest. So,
well, and it's a high speed track, and that Tata's Cadillac is going to make a good run down that bike. Am I the only one here who's driven Gingerman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a low elevation, high speed track, and and Tatas can drive, and that car is a friggin' lightning bolt.
It's a beast.
It is.
Okay, well, there's also the Ridge too. Mental, you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on at the Ridge? Do you see that?
I do.
Fantastic.
Just let me scroll down to it. So the Ridge has got 30 cars, but as mentioned, we're looking at quality over quantity on this one. And when I say quality, I'm talking 4. Count them, 4, folks. AMC Spirits. That's right.
Really?
So,
Spirits, all of them.
4
AMCs. That's possible.
4 of them.
Spirits.
And honestly, I feel sorry for the manager of the local Napa because 3 of them are going to show up and be like, hey, do you have brake pads for an AMC Spirit? Yeah, there was just another team in here asking for that. That's just weird.
I'm getting punked now. Show up looking for an AMC Spirit 4-liter V straight 6 alternator. This can't be right.
You gotta keep going with this list, though.
No. But also, and Eric talked about it when he was on the show a couple of weeks ago, there is a Lada Niva, which is in every movie you've ever seen where that plays the Russian bad guys in the 1980s, they're driving Ladas. It's a Yugo, looks like it turned into a monster truck. And they are going to have no matter what happens, whoever wins this race is going to be a first time winner because there's no trophy winners in this field.
That's fun.
Yeah, that is cool. It is. And I think that just says a lot for the whole growth of this hobby. And then you've got 1MG from the old boys and the Silver Sleeves Racing. They're not going to win. But if they did, it would be the first time ever. So, and here's the thing is in Chris Abbott, the numbers guy, he pointed this out. It's going to be a great race when your ratio is Ladas equals MGs equals E36s, and they're all the same times 4 equals AMC Spirits. So I actually would almost fly out to spectate at this race because it is going to be great.
Oh, if you were going to spectate, you've got to race because this is our favorite track in the whole United States.
It's such a great track. Well, the reason there are 4 AMC Spirits is this race is named Smells Like AMC Spirit. So there you go.
And the patch is hysterical if you haven't seen that on the Lemons website.
It's Kurt Cobain in front of an AMC Spirit. So yes.
I understand why there are 4 AMC Spirits. I'm just saying 4 is a lot. I mean, when they went to Daytona, or not Daytona, when they went to the heck was it? Sebring. There were still only 2 Chrysler Sebrings. And Chrysler Sebrings are a lot easier to find.
Yeah, but AMC Spirits are better than Chrysler Sebrings.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I do. And he's right.
Chrissy. Are they all the same team? Are there just 4? Is it like a group of people that decided to bring?
Yeah.
Really? And none of them talk to each other, you don't think? Like, they're not like, hey, you're bringing one? Well, I'm going to bring one too.
No, it's
They
not they have
probably
spec
did.
spirit.
Yeah. So,
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
like, hey,
one of them is getting
do you
IOE,
have a-
right?
yeah. Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
have a spare? Do you have a spare part? You know,
Yeah. This is a good race to have spare
They're all gonna,
parts.
they're all going to pit next to each other if they're smart.
And no matter what, I'm sure there's going to be a best AMC Spirit trophy. So
Got to be IOE, right?
probably.
Best
Yeah.
AMC Spirit.
We've
is
got
IOE.
spirit. Yes, we do. We've got spirit. How about you?
Oh, that would be such a good theme. I hope someone does that.
You could win that IOE with
Sport
four spirits
Woo!
at like 12 laps. Like, if you
Okay.
get 12.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second. So you know who doesn't have AMC spirits?
Who?
Extreme Experience.
Oh,
But you in the driver's seat with some of the world's best supercars at over 20 racetracks in America and Canada with no speed limits, no shifting restrictions, and no governors. Head to xxspeed.com to choose your supercar, find a racetrack near you, and start making a story of your own. 7 models of exotic cars and supercars to choose from, 20 tracks all around the United States, pro instructors like Mental Jeff and Chris. They're going to help you figure out how to drive that car the best you can do it. Save 25%, still 25%. As it has been for the last 55 shows. When you use Everyone Racers, xxspeed.com to book today. Extreme Experience, it's your turn. It's your turn, Chris.
It's my turn. Great. And we're also excited to remind our listeners that Everyone Racers was and is the official media partner of the second annual Flocktoberfest. It was last weekend. We hear everyone had a great time. The Chicken Ranch did not burn down. And we'll get more details from Kathy eventually. What's up, Metzel?
And I would say we'll go ahead and just announce this now without Kathy's approval. We're probably going to be the media partners for the third annual Flocktoberfest because she's just
no one
that
else
awesome.
is going to be interested.
Yeah.
Like Flock what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
Lucky Dog Racing League schedule is going to be out soon. Stay tuned. We'll share that once we know more. But we are hella sweet going to be at Laguna Seca. Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
So I just have to really quickly say that DC Doug actually interacted with our Facebook pages as we were asking about Flocktoberfest. So even though we've been baiting him for weeks and calling him fat and all, saying he's drunk all the time, he has not reacted. So DC Doug, I don't know, maybe he's in a 12-step program or something, but he does know we exist. So we miss you, Doug.
We love you, Doug.
Uh-huh.
We love you, dog. And he did park all the cars, and you know whose car he didn't park? Y'all have to see Chrissy's face when she realizes where I'm going. Chrissy's mom was not at Flocktoberfest,
No,
so
but she
DC
would
Doug
have-
did not park her.
She
her
would
car.
have loved it.
She
Probably
absolutely would have.
How does she feel about chickens?
She'd have
Why
made
she
cookies
likes
for
chicken.
Oh,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Almost as much as turkeys. It's
Oh,
a good
she
looking bird.
loves
That's right. Okay.
So it's funny when I changed when I showed up to help you with the tire, I forgot to go, "Hi, Chrissy's mom."
Oh, yes. You could have.
I didn't think of it until I was driving away, and I went, "Crap!
Damn it.
You
I
missed
should
your
have just looked
opportunity.
right at her and went, "Hi, Chrissy's mom."
Hi, Jeff. And she was like, now I have to make him some cookies.
Listener feedback.
Folks, our good buddy Chris Egan was on the Facebooks, and he said, random comment for whoever mentioned Facebook Market versus Craigslist last week, and it was me. I loathe Facebook, but it's so much better than Craigslist. I'm actually going to agree with him because I did sell the Porsche on Facebooks, and I still remember JG's quote about, what's the lowest price you'll take? The lowest price I will take is I will burn to cinder and ash all that it is in order to keep you from having it. And that's a Craigslist response. I've had my 2012 WRX on Craigslist for months, but nothing but obvious scams. I am very much interested in your item. I will please pay you $3,000 plus the cost of the shipping, which you will conveniently pay to my shipper. On Facebook for a couple of weeks, sold with a bunch of interested parties if it fell through. Need winter tires for my new car? Craigslist is nothing but junk and stupid ad posts. Facebook, I found a set for my exact car in 10 minutes. The lowballing still exists, but that's just private sale standards. And he's right. I didn't even bother with Craigslist for the Boxster. I put it on GRM and immediately got good, vetted, quality, interested people on that one. I put it on Lemons. I got a bunch of really funny, sarcastic comments. But ultimately, I sold it on Facebook Marketplace. So, yeah, good on you there, Chris. You're right.
I recently saw a red and white Yamaha Chappie for $950 on Facebook Marketplace and decided that it was a little bit out of my price range, but man, it was thinking about it. Go ahead.
You know what car hoarding former guest guy with a serious problem just picked up a Honda 250 for $100 on Facebook? Bradley found out. Yeah, he put it on his Instagram, and he's like, "When is this becoming a problem?" And I'm thinking to myself, about 4 cars ago, Bradley. But good on you. So
you can ask him this weekend.
Yes, true.
Yeah, exactly.
I will see him.
Okay, Kenny Brown. Oh, no, just give me real quick. Listener, we assume from the West Coast, had some really nice things to say, loves the show. We're a ton of fun to listen to. Also had a product that some of you might be interested in. So once we get more information, we'll pass that along. Thanks, Kenny.
We want to thank Kathy for hooking him up with us.
Yep. Thank you, Kathy, too. Okay, main topic.
So I have no idea how this is going to go. It's probably not going to be as funny, except for everybody's going to make fun of me. I suggested this topic to my cohorts here, and they all said, "That's a great topic." And then they went, "Crap, well, how are we doing this again?" So we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants and start talking about laws and when Johnny Law gets in the way of racing. And this all became up because New Jersey, right? New Jersey sucks. If you're not from New Jersey, yeah, exactly. If you're not from New Jersey but race here, you know New Jersey has stupid laws. Most people figure it out when they're getting inspected and find out their belts fail or they try and pump their own gas. So just New Jersey sucks for a lot of reasons, not just because we don't know what to call our favorite breakfast meat. But the New Jersey laws include a 48-page document, which we can put up in the show notes, called Motor Vehicle Racetrack Regulations, Chapter 62. So this is a 48-page PDF, and it sits on top of every rule or regulation from any track or regulating body that runs a race or an exhibition or basically anything. There's about 27 different definitions that basically these are the rules, and it doesn't matter what your rules are, you have to follow our rules. And they are punishable or policeable by the New Jersey State Police. Whew. That was a big mouthful. Go, Mental.
And it includes every time Extreme Experience is up there, Extreme Experience has to file and be granted a waiver to wear short sleeve shirts because all of the polos that we wear, otherwise they want everybody on there. And Extreme Experience goes and buys a couple of pairs of sweatpants every time they're in New Jersey, right, because you are required to have long pants by the New Jersey State Patrol for any track event at all. Track day, high performance driver education, anything you're doing on a track is regulated by the New Jersey State Police.
Yes, and trust me, you want to remember to bring your long pants because you don't want to wear the communal swishy track pants that have been passed around from every flat build Subaru Vapor who really, really, really wants to drive the Nissan GTR.
Yeah, the GTR.
Yeah,
and it's summertime in New Jersey.
Summertime, it absolutely is. I actually loved working the Summit Point event because, I was packing my long pants, and Cal sent me a message, was like, "Don't forget, you can wear shorts." I was like, "Yes!"
And
nothing
folks,
sweatier.
Jeff looks good in a pair of shorts. I'm gonna tell you
right
now.
Assholes! Taking my shirt off.
This is the third time. Why?
It's only the second.
All right. Okay. So now this is and I recognize that really probably only me and Jeff are passionate about this topic, but we talked about research, and I still remember Chris's quote from last week. Research? I didn't sign on for research when I agreed to do this podcast, but I actually went and did research in every southern state, not a one of them, not North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, not a one of them, or Louisiana, have a division of auto racing in their state police, but every one of them, the state police have jurisdiction over every racetrack, which I do find interesting. Chris, you've got something.
All of those states are places more likely to hear "Hold my beer and watch this."
That's right.
than most others. That's all.
Well, yeah. And what it came down to, I think, is a conversation that Aaron and I had, which ultimately sparked this episode, is in the South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, what have you, you have very stringent regulations enforced by sanctioning bodies, particularly NASCAR. NASCAR owns everything. It is a vertical monopoly all the way down to the dirt tracks here in Georgia. And they do have a vested interest in having a safe but fun program, and they enforce their own rules. But if you get drunk and get into a fight, or say like, I don't know, you're at an AER race and decide to do a burnout in the paddock in front of, children and pets, you're going to have to answer to the state patrol for just being an idiot, but not as far. They're not the ones writing the rules.
Yeah, burnouts, by the way, are listed in there. I don't remember what it said, but I saw that there was a paragraph on burnouts.
Stunt exploding, is that what they call it?
Yeah. So part of the research for this, I actually linked to everybody an article on short track racing, motorsport's riskiest corner, and it was a New York Times article, and the entire article took place in Ocala, Florida, because they were basically saying the difference between the rules in New York and New Jersey, which has a lot more stricter guidelines, and what's happening down in Florida. So it's, short track racing is one of the bigger parts of this, because there are a couple of short tracks in New Jersey. So when they make laws and things, they cover every kind of racing, drag racing, junior drags, everything. So yeah, this story we can probably put in the show notes. I don't know how much show notes we're going to have for this, but it's a great article. They talk to Bubba the Love Sponge, who actually owns the racetrack, where a 15-year-old died driving the short track. So,
and it was a girl.
It was a girl, yes. Matt, I guess I'm pausing so you can speak.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that whole thing, so the New Jersey aspect of it is there is no NASCAR presence. Really in New Jersey, you've got a little SCCA and a little NASA, and that is almost entirely around New Jersey Motorsports Park. But there's nobody up there enforcing standards. But there's a lot of sketchy dirt tracks up there running around.
It is not a whole ton of tracks.
No, there's not a lot of, even to get out here into Pennsylvania, they're still not all that common.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's basically Wall Stadium, which is asphalt, and down here there's New Egypt, which I don't know what is happening in New Egypt now, and then there's
pyramids.
Pyramids. That's what they got. Down here there's dirt. And in Bridgeton Speedway. So, but we all know that we attended the indoor racing in Atlantic City, where there was a tragic accident, and there was a major spinal injury from an accident in a TQ midget. So it happens no matter where you're at.
Well, and that leads my credence. So it's one of those, oh my God, someone please think of the children. Somebody happened. We have to make laws, and those laws are doing nothing.
Well, let's talk about some of the laws. I'll throw some of them out there and you guys can react. So here are some of the things that New Jersey says you have to have at every single event: racing, exhibition, I swear to God, mud hop, autocross, snowmobile racing, oval racing, lawnmower racing. There's about 9 other things that are all listed in Section 22.
Why do you say
62.
lawnmower racing like you're mocking? That's a thing, Jeff. It's a thing.
I understand it's a thing.
It's awesome.
It is.
But I want to do that. I'm going to take Jeff's lawnmower and go lawnmower racing.
You're going to start with a black flag when we begin. So here are some of the... hitting the pool cover. Here are some of the things that you have to have no matter what kind of racing you're having: an ambulance and at least 2 EMTs available at all time. So if you send one, you have to stop the race. If you only have one ambulance and it goes to the hospital, the race has to stop. Mm-hmm. So pretty much that means you got to have 2.
Yeah, it happens in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah.
Well, and I think most sanctioning bodies, NASA, SCCA, they enforce that rule as well.
Well, and I think this is the crux of the argument. Who should be making these laws? The sanctioning body or the state? So they also need a vehicle inspection where the organizers make sure all New Jersey state requirements are met for each vehicle. So basically they put it on the organizer to make sure the state laws are watched. Go ahead,
So
Chris.
that's why a couple years ago at Lemons, even though Lemons standard on belts was 5 years, all of a sudden at Jersey, there it's like, oh nope, it's 2 now.
2 years,
Right.
exactly.
And everyone said, what do you mean it is 2 years? And they said, well, we kind of told you this in the rules. And now, see that guy over there with the hat? Yeah, he's making sure.
And a stripe on his pants.
Yeah, he's making sure that we're doing 2 years.
For those of you out of New Jersey, they were like this. The New Jersey State Troopers wear those like flat billed like ranger hats, and they have yellow stripes on their pants. So we all call them
Smokey the Bear hats.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's part of being a state trooper. And see, my thing is like for that particular law, why? Who agreed on 2 years? Did they consult anyone, or did they just arbitrarily make
They
that
just
rule?
decided they were better than SFI. Go, Chris.
Well, and this is because some fool with a dirt tracker left it outside all year in the sun and whatnot. And in year 3, the belt broke when he got into a crash because it had been out and exposed to elements. So I said, well, 3's bad. So 2.
Well, and this
less.
is the key. All of these rules we hear, we do not know. This is the we think portion of the day. All of these rules were brought for the lowest common denominator. Somebody got hurt, so somebody went back and said, well, there must be a reason that this guy got hurt or this girl got hurt or this 17-year-old girl died at Wall Stadium. So we better change the rules to make sure this exact same thing doesn't happen again, instead of just saying racing is dangerous and,
don't be an idiot.
Don't be an idiot. Okay.
It's New Jersey. If you said don't be an idiot, we're going to be left.
We're smart in New Jersey. Stop it. So yeah, here's some more things that are specifically required. A firefighting equipment has specific gallon capacity, pumping power, and personnel trained to a certain level. This varies by event. You can have this many gallons at a drag strip and this many gallons at a road race and this many people. Flaggers, lights, and flag procedures are all outlined by the state. So, like, meatball flag is in the state law.
They don't seem any different than anywhere else, though. I've never seen any difference.
No, they aren't. Unlike there are car-specific rules for fuel delivery and fuel tank construction, size of roll cage tubing, height of door bars, and you already mentioned the 2-year expiration date on belts. So, some of it makes sense. Have flags. Some of it doesn't make sense.
Have ambulances. Good. Right.
Have ambulances. Good.
Have ambulances. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. But have a flagger at every corner or a 4-position red and amber light that all must be controlled by one switch on the entire track. It's layers and layers and layers of bureaucracy on top of what we all know that racers should do and every sanctioning body does anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and it comes down to is, do you trust the government or do you trust the sanctioning body? Even when I was living in Oklahoma, there was a little drag strip south of Norman, Oklahoma, but they had an NHRA rating. They were a feeder for the NHRA. And if they got caught not enforcing the NHRA's rules about safety equipment, they would lose their NHRA sanction, and that would cost them thousands of dollars and then in participation. And
well, some sanctioning bodies are better than others. There's no doubt.
And they use their clout to enforce what's good for their series and keeping everyone safe.
Yeah, I mean, when we had this argument, I won't mention who because he gets mad at me when I call him by a hamburger name. We were talking about containment seats. Containment seats are something that may be coming to New Jersey because of the injuries at the AC race last January. Required containment seats for all racing, which makes sense in some areas and doesn't make sense in other areas. So, we're having the argument, and one of the people who attended, who's on our team, basically said, I wish I could run in an open face helmet. How smart is it to let someone run in an open face helmet in an enclosed car?
It's fine right up until the point when it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether that's a good law or not, but the SFI has decided it is not. You know,
they make Snell rated open face helmets.
Do they make Snell open face?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I used to have one back in the day when all I did was autocross. So, but once you're in a track thing, the speeds go up. The whole point of the closed face is so if you hit your face on anything, it protects your face.
It
from,
protects
like,
doesn't break your chin.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I know there's
especially if you have airbags. If you're running a car that has active airbags and you're running an open face, you're not thinking.
Yeah, I know a ton of rallyists all use open face helmets so they can yell at their co-driver. So, I mean, what does that mean?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, it's not. Are you sure? It's left 3 opens, yump, right 2. I
know we definitely did some. Are you sure?
Global. It's a different kind of rallying. Global Rallycross comes to New Jersey. They have an event at New Jersey Motorsports Park. Does that mean they all have to go to closed face helmets?
If that's
I don't know.
Unless they get a specific waiver from the New Jersey State Patrol, absolutely. Here's my thing is, so if they go with the containment seat law, all your Trackzilla, Just Track It, Track Days, whoever, all the organizations that are running HPDE at NJMP, are streetcars going to be banned now because you have to have a containment seat?
It's a good question. We haven't seen the law, so we don't know what it means. I will say that the, whatever they call it, Chapter 56 is broken down by event, by event, by event, by event. And at some things, stock seat, it says is okay. It tells you how many bolts it has to have and what size the bolts have to be. Who knows what size their bolts are in their stock seat? Don't know. Mm-hmm. But I guess it's still listed as a thing. So yeah, I don't know. Exhibition. Who knows? Good question. Passenger seats is another one. Basically, it says in anything that is racing, qualifying, there was like 4 different kinds of things. The maximum occupancy for the vehicle is 1 and no more. So there is no ability to have coaching in the state of New Jersey
for certain things.
For certain things, yeah, it's obviously designed for certain things. So Lemons never lets anyone coach on testing day.
Well, except last time we were there, they said if you have a licensed instructor, they would let you out. So, I thought, can I do that? But how do I prove that? Do I have to show my NASA card, or what do I do to show my licensed instructor? I don't know.
MSF level 1.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
So,
what's the qualification?
What was the qualification?
License, right.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. What does this mean to multi-state series who have different rules at different tracks? SCCA's Track Night in America rules about passenger has a great rule. It talks about this. It talks about that. If you're like this, be a passenger. If you're like that, don't be a passenger. Then it says, except New Jersey, there are no passengers allowed in New Jersey tracks. So they decided they couldn't figure out the rule and just change the rule for the whole series. The national series says this is allowed everywhere except New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm.
No. Yep.
Yeah.
So don't pump your own gas, kids, unless the can is red.
And so my last extreme experience event with that one, we had to bring the qualified girl to come out there and pump the gas into what are effectively street cars. Granted, supercars, but street cars. This girl shows up in a pair of plastic flip-flops, lace shorts, and a white T-shirt with no bra. I'm sorry. Why?
You inspected her pretty close, huh?
Yeah, apparently
so.
No.
That's what went back with every single car. No.
Didn't have to be that close. It was blatantly obvious as she walked out of the shed, and 2 puppies are trying to get out of that.
Hold on a second. Let me write this down. Make sure to instruct next year at New Jersey. Got it in my book. Keep going.
And we were all making jokes I'm sorry. Why exactly is she safer than all of us?
She's trained.
Yeah, she's trained. Yeah. I mean, she was.
No, but this is truth. At a Lemons event, you can drive. You have to be in full fire suit. You have to have a wristband. You have to be on hot pit to fuel a car. Unless you drive to the pumps, then you give it to the $6 an hour lackey who's going to pump it to you in a pair of
stoned
flip-flops.
16-year-old.
The stoned 6-year-old. You're absolutely right.
This and this isn't just at the racetrack. This is a New Jersey rule, and I'll tell this story because it's still funny. The very first time I drove to New Jersey, I pulled my Suburban into a Wawa, and I go over there and I run my car through there, and I'm pumping the gas. The guy walks over and goes, "What are you doing?" "I'm filling my truck up." He goes, "Oh, you can't do that." "No, I can." "See?" And he's like, "No, you're not allowed to. I have to do that." And I'm looking at this guy, and I thought to myself, I have a master's degree. Explain to me exactly why you're this much more qualified to pump gas into my truck when I've put every tank of gas into this truck since I bought it, and suddenly you're better at this than I am. Get the hell away from me. Yeah.
Well,
So
and this is
we're running long, and I apologize for that.
I don't know. We're all right. You're okay in your story. I just wanted to mention that, this is the whisper down the lane is we have no idea why these laws were started. The reason you're not allowed to pump gas in New Jersey doesn't have anything to do with safety.
No, it was job creation.
It was a job creation during the 70s. They said, look, we'll untax the gas, but you can't pump it yourself. That way we will have less people unemployed in the state of New Jersey. So we have some of the lowest gas taxes in the country.
Not anymore.
Used to anyway.
Not anymore. They just fixed that. But you still can't pump your own gas.
And I'll accept that until I get to a racetrack.
Exactly. Why should street laws affect the racetrack? I guess is why we're saying.
Where do you draw the line? Is the point? That's
exactly.
the hard part.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to wrap this up? You have a good thing going here.
Yeah.
I like.
We talk about all these laws. Not everyone's real a fan of them. So what do you do? What do you do if you don't like the laws? You should really do more than just bitch and post tirades on social media, which is what most people like to do.
Isn't that what we do as a nation?
I'm right here, Chris. I'm right here. Come on.
I know. It's a little close to home, my friends. So here's some thoughts.
I have a post about Kavanaugh.
Yeah, perfect.
Go. Send. Okay, good. Go.
So how about some options? Maybe you could call and or write your local legislators with your opinion. If no one ever says anything, they're not going to do anything. They're probably not going to do anything anyway. But at least then you're trying, right? You get enough people saying something, occasionally you get a response. You can join groups that lobby for this sort of thing, like SEMA or the National Motorists Association, SCCA, NASA, etc. You can also ask the management of your favorite facility who they feel is an advocate for them, because they've got to know, and then support that advocate with your money and time and attention, hopefully all three, so that someone is going for the same goal you are. So you can spread awareness of the situation in a logical, informative, and helpful way, especially highlighting the monetary benefits of your position toward the greater good, your community, whatever it is. That's going to be the thing that's going to help. Not just, I hate this. This is dumb. That's not going to help you. Like I remember when I lived up in Massachusetts, we had an autocross site at an Air Force base, and they were grumbling about having us stop doing it. But some of the advocates we had on our side were all the people in town who we spent money at. So the SCCA said, hey, when you're getting gas today, you're getting lunch, whatever it is, make sure to tell the local business owners that you're here racing up at Hanscom.
Otis.
Otis is on the Cape. Otis is on the Cape. We used to do that, but then we crashed and stuff. So. No, this is Hanscom,
Hanscom. Yeah, no, Hanscom. Yep.
So they said. So we used to do that. So you go into town, and now we have the community business owners on your side saying, no, we want the racing there because those people come into town and they spend money. And that's the kind of thing that's going to help you. So try to find an actual solution to this if you actually want to do anything about it. Right,
Chrissy, you've been quiet. You want to say something?
No, my one line is just we'll continue to bitch to your friends about how stupid the rules are and then go racing anyway. It doesn't follow well after Chris's.
It's fine. Look, here's the deal.
Option.
We're all going to go to Blinker Ice Cream.
Yes.
And we're going to go in our race suits. We're going to talk very loudly about our racing. I think really what Chris said is great about the economic engine, because we all know these tracks are in the middle of bumble nowhere, and then things build up around it. right? We know this is why people complain. We know this is why we have church hours. And there are church hours at a lot of different tracks. It's the same kind of thing, but imagine it 100 times worse in Jersey. Mental, go ahead. You got your hand up?
And to wrap it up, and now I do object to the invasive nature of the particular state that we're talking about, but the flip side of that is down in Florida a couple of years ago, a driving instructor named Gary Terry was killed doing exactly what three of us have done, coaching in a supercar, because in order to even out their tire wear, they were running a track that doesn't exist anymore backwards, and they didn't pay attention to the way that the barriers are set up. And so when you start at the same time, when you get people who don't understand racing making rules, then you're going to find yourself in a lot of trouble. The flip side of that is when you get people that are staring at the bottom line and they also don't understand racing and they're making the rules, you're exposing yourself to a lot of danger. So make sure that if you're on either side of this argument, like Chris said, you understand who's driving it and why they're driving it. They're driving it because they want to make racing safer. That's someone you should support.
Yeah, I'll quickly mention before we end this thing that New Jersey chapter 56 or whatever, that's 65, whatever it is, tells you exactly how big your barriers need to be, where they need to be, and talks about entry and exit to pit lane in a safe manner, and talks about how to put on the Jersey walls. So what Mental is saying is actually covered in New Jersey's laws.
And if anyone knows how to put up the Jersey barriers, it should be these
it's
people.
Jersey,
really.
baby.
The only state in the union where you can't make a left turn.
All right, so let's end this with, hey, what's gotten in the way of your life out there in podcast land? Any laws at your local track? I know we can do environmental for a whole show, but go ahead and post them up. If there's any weird things, we all have church hours. Is there anything weird at your local racetrack? Tell us about it because, hey, why not? We'll mention it on a future show.
Apparently my local racetrack has an open container law. I don't know what that's all about. It's not like I'm going to spill it.
Doesn't your race car
That's
have
why
a
you
cup
don't
holder?
go, right?
There are alcohol rules in New Jersey's chapter.
It's a bottle holder, but yeah.
Steve, go. Yes, what do you have to say? No, just kidding.
He says meow.
Okay.
All right, on the spot. Do we have an on the spot this week? It looks like it is pink.
We have it on the spot. Ready?
Ready.
What car does Mental get in a hurry?
Ooh.
Go. We kind of already talked about it, but go.
Mazda
Chris,
3 long roof. It's the only
No.
choice.
Like, what year? What? And then we're getting in a hurry because
Getting
so
in
he
a
doesn't
hurry.
have. So he doesn't
I'm
have
gonna
to
change it. Totally going to change it.
I didn't call on you anyway.
Sorry, I'll wait.
Chris.
I'm going to say the most solid $2,000 double wishbone Honda you can find because it'll work, and then you can sell it again. And if you want to go racing, you can. You can do all those things. But when the motor blows, it's not a minimum $3,000. It's like $300. So yeah.
Go, Jeff.
Was that me? Sorry.
Yeah, go, Jeff.
Protege 5.
Ooh.
The greatest handling front-wheel drive car that I've stock, Chris, don't get excited. The greatest handling stock front-wheel drive car I've ever had in my life. These have zero value. They run forever. I did 230,000 miles on the original clutch in my first one until
crazy.
I ran it into a Honda Civic. And there is also zero that you can find without rusty fenders.
In Atlanta, he might be able to find
Yeah,
one.
maybe in Atlanta.
Yeah,
even.
exactly. No,
Yeah.
I think I could.
Protege 5, it's like a Mazda 3, but lighter and more tossable.
And less torque.
And less torque. And less horsepower.
And more minivanner.
No, not at all.
No, it's a Protege wagon.
Protege 5.
Oh, all right. I was thinking the 5 was the tall one.
No, not
No.
a Mazda 5.
Oh,
a
Mazda
Protege
5. Protege.
Yeah, that's what I had. That's I had my wires crossed on that one. All right.
Mental.
No, actually, Chrissy, I'm very interested in your opinion because
you know
it'll
what?
probably make sense.
I'm still going with NB Miata.
That good
No.
choice.
Yeah, I'm going to NB Miata. I'm thinking there are a bunch of them. I'm sure you can find them. They're anvils. Maybe find with a hard top, maybe, because then it'll be through your little Hurricane that's coming.
Or a roll bar.
Because-
Roll bar would be even better.
Oh, roll bar. But I'm thinking hard top just so for now. for all the ice and snow that comes your way in December. Because that happened.
Yeah.
So I'm going NB Miata.
NB is a better car than an NA.
It is.
Yes.
And
Just
I
as
would
good at
not.
being a Miata.
I would not daily drive an NA, and I love my NA.
All right, excellent.
Mental, what do you think?
Mental just spent $100 on a rain suit. And, I mean, aside from it being a little less traction wise, Mental's kind of planning on sticking with the VFR for a while. What's interesting is when the weather's bad, people actually expect, they don't expect to see me, but they see me. When the weather's gorgeous and all the bikes are out, I blend into the sidewalk and people try to park on top of me. But in the pouring rain, they're like, "Oh my God, look at that idiot on the bike."
Uh-huh.
I should not
That's
hit
a
him
thing.
with my car.
He's already having a terrible day. I don't want to make it worse. Yeah.
This guy clearly is insane. Stay away from him.
Stay away from him. So,
all right. There are ideas.
Well, there we
That's what
go.
I got.
no, and genuinely, Chrissy, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thought it was fun.
Yes.
Okay.
So, are we gonna talk about the
tell
next
us about next week.
So, folks, next week, our very own, soon to be unemployed, Puffalump loving, burrito eating, Porsche driving, Volkswagen 411 owning, racing.
This is the longest intro ever.
Yeah, I know. Fair enough. Steph Schrader, folks, she's going to be on the show next week. She's going to be talking about her new Facebook program. She's going to be talking about all the stuff she's got going on, and she's probably going to be asking for a job. So if you know anybody that needs a really talented full-time writer with a film degree, send us into all of our contact info, or if you've got questions for Schrader. And on the note of fans on this one, and I pointed this out in a group text, and he's probably going to freak out about this, but one of our more verbal supporters on this program, Jason Hopkins, actually published a piece on Hooniverse, and you should go and read it. It's not a bad
about
piece.
the Glen, right?
It is.
All right, well, there it is. Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe. Go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hate us, give us a 5-star rating and tell us why. If you have any questions or want to give us some show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or by email, everyone.racers@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram or Twitter @Everyone Racers. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the pork rolls side up. Unless it's Taylor ham, then just keep the wheels down.